Hey everybody, hope you're well and welcome to the Krios Christmas edition. I think a lot of people have been waiting anticipation for this video. Dwight has lots of news for us today and we're really excited. And you can also see he's also fashioning the new Krios shirt, I believe. You can get these online. Just a little bit of a plug there. So Dwight, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, James.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, very excited as usual.
I haven't received my jumper yet, so I've gone with my Christmas one.
There you go. There you
It's all
go.
Star Wars. I'm looking the piece. I haven't quite got the tree. I've got some fairy lights, so we're all good. All looking Christmassy. So there's quite a bit for us to go through today, and some quite key and poignant things that people have really been looking forward to hearing about. And obviously, we're going to be discussing those points today. I suppose the biggest thing that people is on people's minds right now is obviously the bonus payments. And this is probably the big thing that people have really been excited about since you've come on board, where you've really sort of game changed and also in a very short period of time in terms of where the Krios business is going. Can you just talk us through sort of predictions, forecasts, and when we can expect sort of payments of those bonuses?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So as people may have noticed, when you put this video out in the Telegram group, I'm going to let you upload a spreadsheet that I had promised from the last group or video interview that has to do with the profitability of the company and some of the key metrics that we're looking at as far as creating profits to be able to actually do profit sharing with. So in there, that is, in my opinion, an extremely conservative sheet. I can tell you this right now, that if you, one of the fields that you can edit anything in yellow without breaking it, is the monthly percentage of growth that we kind of are predicting as far as, just kind of calculating to put some sort of number in there. And at 25% is where we have the first month in Q1. I can tell you this right now, we're growing by 25% every 2 days or so right now. So that's,
Wow.
I think, going to be a very conservative number. As far as a profit share to be coming out soon, I am still trying my best to get something out, maybe as a Christmas present, but don't hold me to it. But that would be my goal, even though it might be a very small amount. The good news is the company is in fact trading, and we are making money, which is always a good thing.
And I've got to
So
say,
we actually have freelancers doing work, and freelancers have been paid. So it's working as advertised. People may have looked at some of the things that we've changed. One of the things that we actually changed as far as the development of the application goes is that we've decided to come and kind of do more of a weekly update. We'll do a daily one if it's something that's critical that has to get fixed, but we're trying to keep it to a weekly, where previously we were kind of looking at month-long timelines to get things out. So last week's big push was to get the freelancer Upwork looking type of ability up and functional, where employers can post a job and what they're looking for specification wise, and freelancers can bid against those jobs. That is actively working. We're seeing employers put jobs up, and we're seeing freelancers bid on them now, which is great. The Fiverr type of interface, where you post a gig that you're willing to do, that we're actually seeing transactions happening there. We've seen some security people pick up some work. We've seen some graphic artists pick up some work and actually, like I say, get paid, which is a good thing. We did run into a little bit of a bump with one of our payment processors as to how we were going to redistribute the cash back out. The program that they had, they actually terminated. Thank you, after we write all the software for it, right? And then
always the way, isn't it?
so yeah, exactly. So we're working with Payoneer right now to get that set up where people can get paid out to their Payoneer account, and we're all set up with PayPal. So people can get paid out via PayPal. If they're U.S., we can do wires. If it's International Payoneer is a big one, so they can use that as well, which is very large in the freelancer community. So that's the good news. So, we've got to grow it. Unfortunately, with every good news, there's some bad news. So I'm going to throw this out here. This is the worst part of the year for us to be doing what we're trying to achieve. Nobody really wants to work at Christmas, and nobody really wants to hire people at Christmas. They're too busy trying to figure out what they want for Christmas or what they're given for Christmas. Besides the fact that all of the retail, sales and everything are swallowing up the advertising at an enormous rate. What I saw a couple days back when I was doing a little bit of advertising was it was costing me upwards of about $5, $5 to $6 to actually get 1,000 ads on pages. I can tell you that generally speaking throughout the year, I can pick that inventory up for 50 cents to $1. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to spend a truckload of money out there that's not very, very specifically targeted. So in that, we've done some Facebook advertising. We're doing some LinkedIn and a little bit of Twitter. I've been working with some of the people over at Facebook and trying to get some things tuned up. My support people, as they listen to this, when you post this out, they won't laugh about it, but I think it is kind of funny. In a matter of 24 hours, we received 600 Facebook messages into the support system with people wanting to know how to sign up, which is obviously very good, and that cost about $100. So we're focusing on that and getting more people up. We have not spent a penny on employer ads as of today. Tomorrow, I expect to be able to launch a couple of campaigns that focus specifically on the employers to bring them on to bringing jobs with them and to hiring the gigs as well. So, basically where we're at right now, I'm very happy with based on where we're at with the actual marketing plan. So I think we're actually seeing better traction than I expected, which is always a good problem to have. So that's all good stuff. We're doing, I guess people don't maybe understand all of the difficulties and work behind actually creating a platform that's going to hopefully scale to the size that we expect it to. But I mean, even like last week, and we took a 2-hour break on Sunday and said, okay, well, we're going to fail this sucker over and make sure everything works as advertised. So databases, we shut them off. Everything kept on working, doing exactly what it was supposed to be doing. Tested it, made sure that it was able to take the loads and then bring it back up to the live version. So, I mean, there's pieces to the puzzle like that we're making sure we're checking off the boxes on, and it's good hard work, but it's fun.
That's awesome. So and I think the phenomenal thing about this, Dwight, is the Dwight speed that you promised has been delivered, and you've really turned this project around. And if I look at other sort of, crypto projects in the wider in the world, there's hardly anybody doing what you're doing right now. It's very unique.
Yeah, and it's just work and focus. I mean, I'm not doing anything special. I'd like to pat myself on the back and say it is. The only thing that might be special is the fact that work doesn't scare me. I mean, I think we've got a really good team in place. We're able to execute against the plans, and knock on wood, so far, we've made pretty much the right decisions at every turn, which has been a good thing. Short of the airdrop, that's probably, I'll kick myself in the butt for that one every time. But the good news is the actual business itself is now created. We actually have something that's picking up traction at a good rate. It's starting to make money, and obviously that's what has to happen. I mean, token projects and crypto projects are all full of FOMO basically, and it's not sustainable. This is turning into a very sustainable, very scalable, and as you see in the spreadsheet, a pretty substantial business. It appears that our 2020 numbers, like I said, I think I'm very conservative in a lot of those numbers. we will get pretty darn close to $100 million of revenue for the year, which is awesome.
Crazy,
You know, think of that, you know, a year ago. Krios having $100 million of revenue coming in. Yeah. Okay.
I think we would have been happy with $1.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't really going anywhere, to be honest. So in terms of, obviously, I've been on as a freelancer offering my services. There's obviously the subscription pieces and everything. When, because obviously you talked about updates and stuff, what are the next sort of set of updates that we can expect in the system?
So this week's updates, we should have included the freelancer subscription upgrades, which will help drive the Krios price, because those are what we use to buy Cree back with. And then also the KYC upgrade, I guess is what you'd call it, where you can pay $8.95. We run you through the KYC process and put a little, you know, KYC approved type logo thing next to your freelancer profile. So one of the things that, you know, as we build this thing, unfortunately, it's, you know, one of my favorite terms is you got to eat the elephant in bites. But what we're trying to do is, as we design it, is to make it so that we can do something that's similar to what you see over. Upwork has started to do it a little bit, but Fiverr's kind of the first guys out there, where there's the regular Fiverr, and then there's Fiverr Pro. And the Fiverr Pro is really your cream of the crop, basically. People that, you know, have KYC'd or have got a lot of reviews, and, you know, they're doing $10,000 a month in gigs and stuff like that. So those are we're building those tools to be able to actually separate pro from non-pro as well, which I think is pretty important in this space, because there's a lot of radio static out there. I mean, it's just you go in and look at even like Fiverr. I mean, if you say, I want somebody to make banner ads, you honestly get like 300,000 replies back, not replies to you, but, you know, people in their jobs that do banner ads. I mean, how does a freelancer set himself apart to get the work? So, you know, those are things we're trying to solve with this, and make it, you know, a good, viable, sustainable platform that works for both sides. Yeah.
And obviously, when you talk about KYC obviously for the freelancers, obviously, so they can verify each other and stuff. There's obviously the KYC for the bonuses. When can people expect to have to sign up to that as well?
So we should hopefully be rolling that out. And I know I keep saying this, but hopefully I would like to see that come out this week as well. Okay. My guy that does that and actually did the Big Fish site has had some issues with his business. He actually moved facilities and stuff like that, so he's kind of delayed me a little bit. But we are working diligently to get that out there.
Awesome.
So,
and the other big thing is obviously exchanges. So you're going to see the volume start to ramp up as subscriptions and stuff. Where are you at with exchanges? What's the plan?
So, you know, the plan probably for the most part is to stay where we're always increasing in size. We are going to announce, in fact, anybody that's been in the Telegram group has seen a little bit of chatter back and forth with a guy named Daniel, and he posted a picture with Cree actually being traded on their platform. It's a DEX that's similar to Crypto Bridge, but we're, you know, he's a good friend. Worked with them on their project a little bit personally, and we're going to go ahead and list out there as well, which is a good thing. But I think the larger ones still going to wait just a little bit. I want the company making money. You know, DigiFinX, $40,000, you know, is about the number we're sitting at right now with them. I'm hoping, you know, to get them to nothing based on, you know, increasing the volume now that the business is actually doing something. With the addition of the subscriptions, I think people will start to see a pretty dramatic move in the price. So if you, again, you know, they can look at it now, because even though they can't right now because we're talking, but when you produce it and put this out, they'll actually be able to reference that spreadsheet, and they can look at month by month what the subscription revenue is, and that's the money the company's actually buying back Cree at. So, if you look at January, because I started it in December or January 1st of the 2020, if you look at January's numbers, it's like $30,000 of subscription revenue. Well, right now that would basically buy the token up to about 3 cents with the supply that's out on the exchanges. If you look throughout that column throughout the year, the company's going to end up getting a lot of tokens back. So that drives the price up.
And with those tokens, are they going to go back into the treasury at some point, or how's that work?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. I want to use that to kind of refill the treasury. There's some M&A activity. I keep promising we're out trying to buy businesses, but meanwhile trying to, run at Dwight speed to get the application up. In my personal opinion, and I'm sure everybody's going to agree with me on this, the most important thing I can spend my time on is our company, it making money. We do have, so there was a little teaser a week or two ago about, a big announcement. Unfortunately, that's not out there so much, but there's 2 big announcements now instead of 1. So nice. One of those could transact before the end of the year. In fact, one could transact possibly within a week or 2, but we'll see. Again, it's kind of the wrong time of year to be doing all this stuff, but both exciting projects, both very high touch. A lot of people know about them. A lot of good PR around them, and things that we'd definitely be proud to bring into the Krios family. So that being said, some of that treasury money would be used on those acquisitions, and refilling the treasury by buying the tokens out of the market is kind of the plan with that. So if you want to know Dwight's evil genius plan,
that's it. So really, I suppose the advice to people is hold your tokens, cash in on your bonuses that'll be paid out. The business keeps making money, keeps buying back the tokens to put back in the treasury to buy even more businesses to make an even bigger dividend. Just keep holding.
That's right.
Pretty much.
That's right.
It's a very nice cycle of yes, very good. So I suppose with all of this, what's been the biggest challenge for you, Dwight? Because you've come along and you really have absolutely wiped this project into shape. What's been the biggest challenge for yourself?
I think probably the biggest challenge personally is to try to remove the emotions as much as possible. You guys don't see it on a daily basis like I do, but I mean, I get up at like 6 in the morning and I'll open up something and it's like, yay, we got this done, or these people have agreed to do this with us, and all these different things. Where I look at the statistics of the advertising campaigns and stuff like that, and I'm always getting good news, and I got to throttle that because it's hard to keep at Dwight speed when you're getting blasted in the face with good news, because you're thinking, oh, well, we're there. Well, no, we're not. We got a long ways to go. We definitely got a lot more Dwight speed to get there. And but I think that's probably the most difficult thing I had. That and kind of disassociating. At this point, it's really difficult to not just go in and buy the tokens on the exchanges when I see them trading at $0.015. It's like I should be taking my own cash and putting out there, but that's not really helping the business, because the cash that I've got, I need to be spending on marketing that helps the business to let me buy the tokens out of money made and earned, not just money spent. So I think those are disciplines, I guess, is probably the best way to put it, that are probably my biggest struggle as far as the company goes. I'll be honest with you, I've never had a business. I've had some very successful businesses. I've not had any business that has been this exciting and this successful and literally on track the way this one is by a long stretch. I mean, the web Usenet company that I had, back in the early 2000s, I mean, we spent 6 years of hard grinding. I mean, just grinding to get to a point that we're going to surpass in the first 6 months of revenue production with this thing. So I mean, it's stunning. It's
And do you think that's just an accumulation of probably all the experience that you have, business acumen, maybe buying the right company at the right time in the right sector?
yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot, and quite honestly, having a good community around us. I mean, it's good to everybody always warned me, especially our admins are like, Dwight, my gosh, if you say hello in the group, they're gonna beat you up and you're gonna go home crying, you know. First off, I'm 6'4" and I don't get beat up very often, and that's not a cry. You can ask my wife. But that being said, we've got a great community. It makes me feel good that I was able to kind of come in, and I don't want to say I rescued the community because there was not a whole lot going on, or their chances of receiving money back for what they had spent was slim to none at that point. But the acceptance of the community, I think everybody kind of sees where we're going with the future, the effort that we're putting in, and basically the guidance that, like you said, my years of experience are helping us get all this stuff put together in the right way. I mean, like I said, there was a lot of moving balls on a project like this. I mean, there's just a ton of moving balls, and we're keeping them moving. So.
No, and I think what you brought definitely to the community from how I've seen it on the outside in, if you will, it was just a glimmer of hope, because there was so many people sitting on so many projects that, like you said before, the FOMO projects where they promised the earth, deliver next to nothing, where you came in, you said, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. A lot of people went, I'm not sure about that. And then all of a sudden we started seeing results. And before we know it, 6 months down the line, we've got a company making money. And I think that's what, and I think there's a lot of respect for you out there as well, Dwight, in terms of.
I mean, that's we have a company making money. I mean, that's everything we could ask for. At this point, it's ours to mess up. And believe you me, I don't plan on that happening. So we're just going to keep on pushing forward and keep on adding stuff.
Coolio. So I suppose that on the last sort of call, it is Christmas. Is there any messages you'd like to give to the community before we wrap up?
Well, I mean, we could potentially do another call before then. Okay. There's a possibility. And if we do, I'll wear a sweater like you. It might not say Krios. I'll wear something goofy for Christmas. How about that?
That'd be cool.
But
your reindeer onesie.
Probably the biggest thing I'd like to say now is thanks everybody for the support. I mean, there are people that have helped in a lot of different ways. Whether it's ideas that no one person can think of everything. And, we've gotten a lot of good ideas out of the community. We've been getting them from some of the freelancers that have signed up, telling us stuff to do. Just thanks for the support. And, let's make 2020 everybody extremely rich would be the thing to happen here. I truly believe, based on the spreadsheet that you guys can now look at, that by the end of Q1, we should see a token price, close to the 20-25 cent range, just kind of depending on how many people are, dumping their coins because they don't believe in the project, which, I don't think I've given a whole lot of reason for people not to believe in what we're getting done here, but, it happens. So if you hold the tokens, they'll go up. I can guarantee you that, because there are still some people that are just kind of shedding off a little bit here and there.
Yeah, definitely. And I've worked out this based on the figures that you provided. I thought, okay, what most people I assume will do is go, I hold X amount of tokens. What does that mean for me? And I did it for myself, and I was like, wow. I think it worked out something like 30 or 40 times my original investment just in dividend payments, let alone selling anything. Yeah. So I was like, Dwight's my new best friend.
And it only gets better. And like Indeed. I said, those numbers are none of those numbers on that spreadsheet are solid. I will give updates as to like what the percentages look like, so people can update their own spreadsheet if that's what they want to do, so that they'll know what dividends are looking like for the end of the quarters as we continue to move down. There's a percentage of profits that are in there that are used for dividend payment. That is subject to change in an upward fashion at probably a pretty significant rate. So that's as the company needs to spend less on marketing and programming and all that other kind of stuff, then obviously there's less need for it to take some of its profit to pay those bills with. So I think that, like I said, I think that everybody will see that. It looks good. I'm not going to say that I would say it's outstanding. Q1, nobody's getting 25-cent dividend or profit shares. But I think over the year they can understand where it's at. And if we built it out for 2 years, if you look at the 2-year plan, it's very exciting.
Indeed.
Very exciting.
Well, I just want to say a massive thank you from not just myself, but the whole community, everybody that's been following or bought into Krios. And I think it's going to be a very happy Christmas, and I think a very prosperous new year as well. So a big thank you, Dwight.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm feeling